As The Last Jedi moves closer and closer to release, more information about all of the characters is slowly being revealed to build up the hype for the film. Today, we got new information on the villains of the film, and an explanation to what extent we learn of Snoke's origin, as well as where Kylo's journey will be taking him in The Last Jedi, but more importantly, where it won't be. Concerning Snoke, according to the director of Episode 8, we won't learn very much about his past, but more his current circumstances and power. It was recently confirmed Snoke would have far more screen time in The Last Jedi than he did in The Force Awakens, as well as actually physically appearing in the movie. This is significant as in The Force Awakens, he only appeared in the form of a hologram to Kylo Ren and General Hux. This is what the director for The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson, commented about Snoke's past, as well as why he won't delve deep into it in The Last Jedi. We got the whole story of Palpatine's rise to power in the prequels, but in the original films, he's exactly what he needs to be. He is just the Emperor. He's a dark force, the scary thing behind the thing. That's entirely how I approach Snoke. I wasn't interested in explaining where he came from, or telling his story, except where it serves this story. End quote. This just confirms what we've heard before. Snoke is not the main focus of the story, and thus, his backstory will not be focused on in it. The director also pointed out that it is this mystery that keeps Snoke so interesting, just as it did for Palpatine. By not knowing where he comes from, he is more threatening to us. With that said though, as I've said before, I do hope eventually we find out Snoke's origin, and where exactly he came from, and where he learned his trade in the dark side of the Force. Now on to Kylo Ren, the dark side warrior. By the comments I'm about to read, it is clear this story will focus heavily on Kylo Ren's past, which is obviously deeply connected to Luke's. This time around, Kylo Ren's story is not really about his darkness and light clashing, at first at least, but more on why they are clashing. As stated by Mark Hamill, Kylo Ren is the biggest reason as to why Luke Skywalker has left the fight, and why he remains on Ahch-To. Luke Skywalker bet everything he could on Kylo Ren, and Kylo destroyed it all. This is the biggest reason as to why Luke Skywalker is hesitant to train Rey as his new apprentice. Kylo and Luke Skywalker are different sides of the same coin, and the movie will heavily focus on that, as well as Kylo's hatred and anger towards the Last Jedi and his Jedi Order. Quote, "Riding Kylo Ren is just so much fun. Star Wars boils down to the transition from adolescence into adulthood. That's the heart of these films, and Rey is most obviously the one that hangs on. But it's also Kylo. In the originals, you project entirely onto Luke, while Vader is the scary other. He's the Minotaur. The fascinating thing about Kylo and Rey is that they're two sides of something else. We can all relate to Kylo, to that anger of being in the turmoil of adolescence, and figuring out who he is, and how to be a man. Dealing with anger, and wanting to separate from his family. He's not Vader. At least, he's not Vader yet. And that's something I really wanted to get into." End quote. I really adore the last line of this quote. He's not Vader. At least, he's not Vader yet. That's extremely interesting. So that is all of the new information we received on Snoke and Kylo Ren in the Empire magazine. Be sure to stick around to keep up to date on all of the new Last Jedi information as it comes out, as it's coming out every single day at this point. And although I've asked it before, I'd love to hear your updated thoughts on it. Where do you think Snoke really comes from? And if not in 8, will we learn his origins in Episode 9? As a last thing for the video, a very special girl to me headed off to college today, and I just want to let her know that I love her and am rooting for her. You'll do amazingly. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed and want to help the channel out, be sure to hit the like button. If you would like to see more Star Wars explanation videos and stay up to date with all the Star Wars news from The Last Jedi to Star Wars Rebels, hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to turn on notifications to see everything as soon as it comes out, and to make sure that you become a living holocron today. If you would like to get in direct contact with me, follow me on Twitter, where we discuss all things Star Wars and debate with one another on the various topics concerning the universe. If you have any video ideas you want to see explored, leave them in the comments below the video, with hashtag suggestion at the end of your comment so I can find it better. If you do end up leaving a suggestion, I really appreciate it, and hope to one day make a full video dedicated to your question or suggested topic. Thanks again just for simply watching the video and your continued support on this Star Wars journey. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.